Grace Sullivan never won anything in her entire life. Not raffles, not scratch-off cards, and certainly not anything as extravagant as a luxury vacation. So when an email popped into her inbox on a rainy Tuesday morning saying she had won a free 3-night stay at a mountain cabin in Colorado, she almost deleted it, assuming it was spam. But after checking the sender twice, then 3 times, she realized it was real. She had entered a single parents weekend getaway contest months ago, mostly as a joke after her friend Tara dared her to apply. And somehow, she won. Grace looked across the small kitchen table at her 8-year-old son, Liam Turner, who was currently constructing a bridge out of cereal pieces. "Hey, buddy," she said gently. "How do you feel about mountains? Big ones?" Liam's eyes widened. "Like the ones with snow and bears? Can we see one?" Grace laughed. Not the bears, hopefully. The truth was, she needed this break more than she could admit. Between juggling 2 part-time jobs, constant bills, and the heavy silence left by a divorce she never saw coming, life had felt like a treadmill she couldn't step off. A free cabin stay in the Rockies felt like someone had hit pause for her. 2 days later, Grace and Liam were driving up a narrow mountain road, the air getting cooler with each curve. Pines lined the hillside, thick and tall, and sunlight flickered through them like a quiet welcome. The cabin finally came into view: chestnut wood, huge windows, and a porch overlooking the valley. It was more beautiful than the photos. Liam jumped out of the car before Grace could even unbuckle her seatbelt. "Mom, there's a swing and a fire pit and, Mom, look, a lake!" Grace smiled. For the first time in months, her chest loosened. This trip was exactly what they needed. Inside, everything smelled of cedar and comfort. Liam ran from room to room, claiming the loft as his. Grace set their bags down and stood by the panoramic window, watching the afternoon sun melt behind the mountains. But just as she began to relax, gravel crunched outside. A black pickup truck rolled into the driveway. Grace stiffened. No one was supposed to be here. The stay was exclusive. No staff, no interruptions, no other guests. The door of the truck opened, and a tall man stepped out. Rugged flannel shirt, boots dusted with dirt. He looked confused, then concerned. Hi there," he said, approaching slowly. "I'm Cole Harrington, and this is my cabin." Grace blinked. "Your cabin? But I want a free stay here." Cole hesitated before answering. "Ma'am, this cabin wasn't supposed to be rented to anyone this week." Grace felt the air freeze around her. Liam peeked down from the loft railing, eyes wide as he whispered, "Mom, is he a bad guy?" Cole immediately raised both hands slightly, palms out, in a non-threatening way. "No, kiddo, promise. I just think there's been a mix-up." Grace took a slow, steady breath. "I have confirmation emails, a booking code, everything." Cole nodded. "I believe you. And I'm not here to kick you out. I just wasn't expecting anyone. I came up for some repairs. Storm last week knocked out a few things." He stepped onto the porch, avoiding eye contact like someone who didn't want conflict. Grace watched him carefully. He didn't seem dangerous, more surprised than anything. Still, her protective instincts rose high. She pulled up the email on her phone and handed it to him. Cole read it, his eyebrows tightening. "Diane Porter. She handles bookings, but she shouldn't have listed these dates." He sighed. "Looks like a double booking." Grace rubbed her forehead. "So what now?" Cole looked at the cabin, then at her and Liam. "Well, it's your vacation. You and your son shouldn't have to leave." "Mom, I like him," Liam whispered loudly. Grace shot him a look. Cole cracked the smallest smile. "I'll make this easy," he said. "If you're okay with it, I'll stay in the small shed out back. It's basically a mini cabin. You two keep the main place. Tomorrow I'll call Diane and sort this out." Grace hesitated. "Are you sure?" We don't want to intrude. You're not. I promise. My grandmother built this place. She'd haunt me for eternity if I turned a family away. That made Grace laugh, just a little. Eventually, she agreed. Cole grabbed a duffel bag from his truck and headed toward the shed. Liam watched him through the window. He seems nice, Liam said, like the guys on those fishing shows. Grace chuckled. Let's hope he's less messy. As evening fell, Grace lit the fire pit. Liam roasted marshmallows, sticky smiles spreading across his cheeks. She felt safe, calm, miles away from responsibility, until she noticed flashing lights reflected between the trees. A vehicle rolled up the mountain road, slow, searching, and official. A sheriff's SUV. Grace stood tall, heart racing. Cole jogged out of the shed, worry crossing his face. "What's going on?" Grace asked. The sheriff stepped out. "Evening. We're looking for a suspect reported in the area. Someone was seen near these cabins." Grace felt a chill run through her. "Is this cabin safe?" she whispered. The sheriff paused. "We're not sure yet." Grace instinctively pulled Liam behind her. The sheriff's expression softened when he noticed. "No need to panic. We're just checking each property. Last confirmed sighting was a few miles down the road, but we can't rule anything out." Cole stepped closer. "Sheriff, what exactly are we dealing with?" "A trespasser broke into a storage shed at the base of the mountain. Not violent, but we're being cautious." Grace felt her stomach twist. "Should we leave?" "Not necessary," the sheriff said. "Just lock your doors tonight. We'll be patrolling." After he left, the forest fell silent again, but not peacefully. Grace looked at Cole, fear flickering across her face. This was supposed to be a relaxing trip. Cole nodded, running a hand through his hair. "I get it. Look, I'll keep an eye out tonight. The shed isn't far from the cabin. If anything seems off, I'll come straight here." Grace swallowed. "Thank you." Liam tugged at her sleeve. "Mom, is someone bad gonna come here?" Grace knelt, leveling her gaze with his. "No, sweetheart, we're safe. Mr. Cole is close by and the police are watching the area." That seemed to ease him, at least for now. As night settled over the mountains, wind whispered through the pines. Grace tucked Liam into bed, the loft light casting soft shadows. He fell asleep quickly, exhaustion from the day taking over. Grace stayed awake much longer. She found herself pacing the living room, glancing out the windows, double-checking the doors. At one point, she saw a faint glow from Cole's shed, his lantern moving inside. It made her oddly comforted. At around midnight, a soft knock startled her. She opened the door to find Cole, bundled in a jacket. "Sorry to scare you," he whispered. "I just wanted to say everything's quiet. I walked the perimeter." Grace exhaled slowly. "I appreciate that." He hesitated. "Can I sit for a bit? It's freezing outside." She nodded. They sat near the dim fireplace, amber glow warming the room. For the first time, Grace saw a gentler side of Cole, less rugged, more human. He noticed her restless hands. "You're thinking too much," he said lightly. "Single moms don't get to stop thinking," she replied. He nodded. "My mom raised me alone, too. I know that look. The worry never shuts off." That surprised Grace. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. Understanding, maybe even comfort. A sudden rustling outside snapped both heads toward the window. Then, a loud thud against the side of the house. Cole stood immediately. "Stay here." But Grace grabbed his arm. "Don't go alone." Another thud, and then a shadow moved across the porch window. Cole moved slowly toward the door, motioning Grace to stay behind. She clutched the railing of the staircase, ready to run up to Liam if anything happened. The cabin felt suddenly smaller, darker, like the night itself had crept inside. Cole flipped on the porch light. Nothing. The wind rustled through the trees, but it wasn't enough to explain the thuds. Cole stepped onto the porch cautiously. Grace watched through the window, her heart pounding. "Cole?" she whispered through the glass. He held up a hand. "Wait." Then he bent down and exhaled in disbelief. Grace opened the door slowly. What is it?" Cole turned, holding up a large, dented plastic cooler that had rolled off the deck above. "A bear," he said with a breathless laugh. "It knocked over the cooler I left up there earlier. No intruder, just a hungry neighbor." Grace nearly dropped to her knees in relief. "Are you serious? I nearly had a heart attack." Cole grinned. "Welcome to mountain life." But before they could fully relax, Liam's sleepy voice echoed from the loft. "Mom?" Grace rushed inside. "It's okay, sweetheart. Just a bear knocking stuff over." Liam blinked. "A bear? Cool." Grace laughed. "Not cool. No more bears." Cole joined them inside, and tension slowly faded from the room. "You two should get some rest," he said softly. "I'll take the cooler to the shed so it doesn't attract more visitors." Grace nodded gratefully. "Thank you for everything tonight." He paused at the door, offering a warm smile. "You're not alone here, Grace. Not tonight." Morning sunlight spilled into the cabin like a warm apology. Grace awoke to the smell of coffee. She stepped into the kitchen to find Cole at the counter, 2 mugs ready. "Hope you like it strong," he said. She smiled. "After last night? The stronger the better." Liam bounded down the stairs. "Is the bear still here?" Cole chuckled. "Probably halfway up the mountain by now." While they ate breakfast, Cole's phone buzzed. It was Diane Porter, the booking agent. He stepped outside to take the call. When he returned, he looked relieved. "Everything's sorted. This place was supposed to be blocked off for repairs, but since you're already here, Diane's extending your stay 1 more night for free." Grace's eyes widened. "Really?" "Really. Think of it as a proper vacation after the chaos." Liam cheered, throwing his arms up. Grace met Cole's gaze, grateful, warm, and unexpectedly connected. "Thank you," she said quietly, "for making this trip unforgettable." Cole smiled softly. "It's been nice having company." Grace looked out at the mountains, sunlight kissing the peaks. For the first time in a long time, she felt hope again. And the cabin that began as a mix-up now felt like something else entirely. A new beginning. Ooh.